The Midwest Grape and Wine Industry Institute is a group here at Iowa State, and we are committed to helping the grape and wine industry both in Iowa and in the Midwest produce the best grapes possible and produce the best wine possible. My name is Erin Norton. I'm the Education and Outreach Specialist with the Midwest Grape and Wine Industry Institute. One of the projects that we're currently working on is an Iowa Signature Wine project. So there's lots of signature wines around the world. Some good examples here in the US would be Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon or New York Riesling. And so tourists go to these regions specifically to seek out these wines and try the wines of the different wineries in that area. And more recently, a wine was developed in Illinois, a rosé that they marketed for their bicentennial, and they were really successful in marketing this wine. But they designed it and they came up with the idea themselves, and so that's the idea behind our Iowa Signature Wine. The Wine Institute secured a grant to gather information for whether a signature wine could be developed in Iowa, and these results are available for you to go into more detail at the Extension store, and that link should be provided below. And in that report, you can find more details about the statistics and the methods that we use to gather this information. So what we attempted to investigate were two questions. Firstly, what kinds of wines do Iowa consumers like? And then based on what these consumers liked, what parameters were there for these wines? To find the answers to these questions, we set up 4 objectives within our project. The first was an industry survey. Next, we followed it up by selecting wines. Then we did chemical analysis on the wines. And then we brought in consumers to taste the wines and tell us which ones they liked. So for the consumer sensory evaluation, we brought in consumers over 5 weeks. So they were tasting one variety per week, and they were evaluating their liking of the wines. They weren't comparing the wines to each other, just their overall liking of each wine. What we found with the results from the consumer sensory is that consumers liked wines that were sweeter. They also preferred white wines over red wines. And another interesting finding was that we could group consumers into clusters, and these clusters have very different liking scores for the different wines. So yes, overall consumers liked sweeter wines. However, within the clusters, we can get more specific information as to what variety they preferred or what sweetness level they preferred. Next steps for this type of project for an Iowa Signature Wine is to take this information and present it to the industry. And so the first steps are this report, but also following up with discussions with the industry to see if this idea of an Iowa Signature Wine is feasible. Hopefully, using the information from this project, the industry will be able to make an informed decision about whether to go forward with the Iowa Signature Wine development. If we piqued your interest with this project, please be sure to download the report from the Extension store, and please contact me if you have any further questions about the project itself.